The sunlight come in, boy. Okay. Yo, I'm in here acting mad stupid right now. Almost didn't even do this today because I just been here doing other stuff. But then I'm watching these videos. And obviously this past weekend we had a lot of boxing, and and we all watched Nate and Jake Paul fight. We watched Roy Jones, Mike Tyson fight. I'm watching these clips on the internet right now that's making me laugh. And I don't know who this girls boxing, this female fighters, which is always dope to watch. But I'm laughing because this fight is where you hear the bell ring and you watch the one girl come out and basically just throw 4 quick punches, and then the other girl's just asleep. And it has me wondering, why do y'all feel like y'all have to become boxers? This shit not for everybody, apparently. Like, bro, she don't even throw a punch. All you see is bink, 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 and it's over. And she's asleep on the canvas. And shorty, I don't feel bad for you. I'm laughing because you don't have to be out there. People are not anybody personally directly at me saying this, but I know there are a lot of people who are upset at the fact that we've kind of been making fun of Nate. Listen, I'm going to say this. Nate didn't have to be out there. All that I'm fighting for my family and I'm fighting for the NBA, all my NBA niggas, you could have left that at home. People said the whole city fell off after he took that knockout. I don't believe that, though, because obviously Nate is still a legend. But listen, let this be a lesson to all y'all. I understand that when you're coming up and you're the underdog, you develop a chip on your shoulder. And you ride that out, and it takes you to great heights. But you got to understand that you've surpassed and exceeded in life, and done things that people will never, ever do. Doesn't mean you have to do everything. I understand. People are always hailing you as the underdog, never giving you a chance. But it's because of the inability to remain humble, and the chip is what got knocked out. I'm sorry. And the training, obviously. Because I don't understand why you feel like you are just going to go in there and box somebody who this person's training to be a professional because they want to do this full time. They want to knock people out full time. You're doing this because you don't really have a whole lot to do right now. You've worked so hard for a long period of time in life that now you're able to kind of just coast because you're coasting off your accomplishments because of all the hard work you did. You're a boss. This is just some extra shit. You're not in a position where you got to find money we got to raise money to donate kidneys and shit. You see how that scared me? Because all of a sudden it's that knockout. Oh my God. But you're not in a situation, Nate, where you got to raise money to get kidneys for family members. I don't know. Maybe he is. But otherwise, why take this fight? Y'all know how old Nate is. Nate's 36. That's not old. He's stupid athletic, still in great shape. But you know what? You're different at 36 versus age 23, which is how young old boy is who put him on the canvas. I'm going to tell you like this. Yeah, I'm cracking jokes, but I'll tell you right goddamn now, I know I'm not getting in there. I got hands too, but not 23-year-old hands. These are 34-year-old get knocked out, be asleep on the pavement hands. So I'm only ready to rumble with people who I know are probably closer to my age and anybody that's elderly at this point because I'm playing the numbers. If I'm going to be in squabbles, we want the guaranteed victories. It's too late in life to just be playing games just because we're either winning championships or we're not playing. So that's my whole point. You don't have to go in there. And I'm just making jokes. I'm not advocating beating up the elderly. Jesus, no. I love the elderly. Why would we ever do that? My point is you don't have to fight. That's what I'm trying to say. At age 36, you can do anything that you want. But fighting a 23-year-old, and for what? Someone said that the purse was $600. So you got knocked out for a PS5, bro, in some games. Like, you had to do that to yourself. But anyway, no shade at Nate. And I love the people that are on the internet being like, you know what? And excuse the glare in the sunlight. I'm enjoying the sun. Consider this like an outdoor show, even though I'm indoors. I just got the window open and letting the light hit my good side. Let me lean back though so you can see my face. I see people online being like, yeah, all y'all talking shit, y'all are all cowards. Y'all would never do what he did. He got in the ring, he held his own. And some of the people saying this are very highly respected people. But there are other people who were as highly respected who were also saying the same thing that I just said, which is you didn't have to go in there. You didn't have to get your ass knocked out on national television by somebody who's mad younger than you and has nothing to lose. I mean, you probably don't have a whole lot to lose either, but the memes wouldn't have been as funny if they would have been about old boy, because he didn't come out with the whole, this is for my family and this is for the NBA. And even people he knows in the NBA, like Swaggy P, Gilbert Arenas, two of my favorite motherfuckers in the world, are being hilarious and giving Nate a hard time. Obviously, you've seen the memes. We're glad that Nate is okay. I'm sure Nate will come back strong. I low-key hope he just decides to become a professional boxer so he can really go out and rough people up if that's what he wants to do. But like, you just remember, you didn't have to go in there. You did that to yourself. So it was funny. But watching that other clip, like this poor girl, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, shorty, why are you in there? I know when we're telling people, because we want to empower people, men, women, children, we want to empower everybody to do great things. But listen, you can't just wake up one day and go, oh shit, I'm a boxer now. Shit, anybody want to run up and they can get it. No, because you know what happens? You end up asleep on the canvas with no pillow and no blanket. And that's a bad way to sleep, bro. That's how the boogeyman will get you. Anyway, sweet dreams, Nate. And this poor girl on this video getting knocked out. That shit had me dying. While I'm setting up the show, I was laughing so hard. I had tears coming down my face. I literally was shaking. I'm a little bit, sweaty just because I was in here cracking up trying to get this shit set up. And it's not funny because if she's hurt, I'm sorry. But it's funny that like you're in the uniform, the outfit, you have your gloves up, and literally the girl comes out and she just froze. And then the one girl just was like, fuck it. Bop, bop, bop. Slept her. And that was it. And it makes me wonder, why was this the career path you chose if when you got in there, you were going to freeze up and let somebody basically just use you as a heavy bag? Like, just punch that shit all out of you. And then, like I said, asleep, no pillow, no blankets. Very sad. Real quick, because this is the show where we talk about social justice issues. Not really on it today, but kind of on it because I was watching ESPN today and they had Michael Eric Dyson. He came on First Take, and obviously he has a new book that dropped. He is a very influential man, a very great public speaker. I've actually had the pleasure to sit in a room and hear him speak while I was at a conference in Dallas when I worked at the YMCA. He's an amazing guy who has lots of great thoughts. I implore you to check out his book, his many books, watch his videos, watch how he speaks. I think you'll get a real kick out of him too, because he is somebody that does try to remain, with the times, and he likes to throw a lot of rap quotes into a lot of his stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I have a hard time listening to it because I'm like, bro, I can only hear you use so many Jay-Z quotes when you're trying to, drive a point home. But if you can sift through all that, the information that he's providing, the game that he's giving you, it's all good stuff. I definitely walked away from his conference feeling empowered. And I feel like from the time that I had seen him speak in person, like the next couple of years after that, I felt like I really thrived and was able to elevate myself just based on a lot of the stuff that he was talking about and also the things that I learned at this conference. But I noticed on First Take today, and I did not watch the whole thing, but I feel like what I did watch, what I was interpreting based on their conversation, which was about LeBron James and wondering what type of social justice impact he would have if he were an NFL star versus his actual career, which is NBA star. And it got me thinking, would LeBron have the same impact as an NFL player? And I think the answer is absolutely no. And the reason being is because this is just what I believe about the NFL. If you look at the landscape of the NFL has stars like every sport, right? But because the teams are so big and the league is run by the owners, there is no one player who is so much greater than the next player or some team or its franchise as a whole. It's not possible. They won't allow it. So the way that LeBron can carry the NBA, he could never carry the NFL like that because they wouldn't allow it. I also believe that what you see now in the NBA is vastly different from probably what we would have seen if there would be no LeBron, because LeBron carries their league. Although the rest of the league and other teams have great players, we do have stars: Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Steph, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all these people. We have all these people, right? The league still kind of runs on the back of LeBron James. Do you really think Adam Silver is going to look at his golden calf and say, nah, fam, chill? You can't do all that social justice shit here. Do you think he's going to tell him that? No, because if he does that, and then LeBron does what he has been doing, boycott, do all these things, you'll see what the outcome could potentially be. You're not going to upset the person that helps drive all the money for every city that you have a team playing in. He helps. A lot of teams have great players. They do their own thing financially, but you think there are a lot of small market teams that the most money that they make a lot of times is the games where LeBron shows up or another star. So you are sometimes dependent on your other star. The NFL is not like that. The players come and go so much that people care more about the team itself and their loyalty to the team more than they actually care about some of these players. Unless you're a Tom Brady or somebody that's been, or Aaron Rodgers, you look at guys like that who have been in their same jobs for 12, 11, 13, 14, 15 years plus. That's the only way that people are more there to maybe see that player than just the team. So I don't think if LeBron played football, he would have that same impact, because look at how the NFL was acting. When this shit happened back in 2016, you saw what they did to Colin Kaepernick. Listen, Cap obviously was not the same type of star level athlete that LeBron is. LeBron is different because he's carrying a league. But if you look at that time when Kaepernick was hailing at quarterback for the 49ers, he was leading the league as far as having a platform for black players. He had just come off of a Super Bowl appearance. He was balling out, and people were talking about him as if he was going to be the next greatest thing at QB, maybe transcending the game and taking it to the next level based on his ability to run the football and throw the football and lead teams to victories. The second he started speaking out, they squashed him like a bug. And now look at him. He ends up just being a martyr, and you don't actually get to see if he would have been that great of a football player. So just because LeBron is LeBron does not mean he would have been able to stroll over to the NFL and have the same type of social justice impact that he has now, because the league is set up to where it benefits the owners more than the players. You saw how they were acting, and the NFL didn't even get on board with all this social justice stuff until this year when they saw a player like LeBron. But it also comes on the back of 1.5 million negative feedback type of comments that they get from people all across the globe talking about how they think the NFL is trash based on how absent they were and how they didn't back up their players in 2016. They didn't have a choice but to do the stuff that they started doing this year after George Floyd and all these other situations. So to think that if LeBron would have been in the NFL this whole time, that we would have seen the same type of social justice rise like we did in the NBA, I don't think that's fair to say. Plus, if you can believe it or not, I don't know. From my point of view, it seems like I see a lot of the stuff that the NBA gets credit for doing. I feel like I've seen the WNBA do it first. The girls took all the steps well before the boys did. They boycotted and walked off the court and didn't play games and did all that stuff. So we can't act like all the stuff is only coming from LeBron. And I'm sure he would tell you that same thing, because we're not going to not give props to all these black women and other allied women who are out here taking these steps within their sport. Because look, they're not getting paid shit compared to what LeBron is getting paid. And by the way, Buddy just signed an $85 million extension. He can afford to walk away and miss a couple of games. You know the type of hit that some of these ladies take if they skip a game, and they were doing that shit on behalf of black men everywhere well before NBA players were. So listen, we all love LeBron. We love everything that he's doing as an athlete in this time, especially on, in regards to social justice, because this is something that we've never seen before besides Muhammad Ali. We didn't see Jordan doing this. We didn't see Kobe doing this. We didn't see all these football players and everybody that's been great. We didn't see a T.O. I didn't see Jerry Rice doing none of this shit because some of these people were not finna mess up that bag, which I get it, because you have families to feed, all these things. You maybe want to speak your piece, but you're not going to go out on a limb and ruin yourself potentially on behalf of people that maybe you don't know. I get it. Some of y'all really not built like that. So shout out to LeBron for all the things that he's willing to do and sacrifice. But there are also other people who do that, and they have been doing it well before he did, and probably have been the ones kind of showing him the way and empowering him and giving him the courage to speak out more. But I also think it's kind of ridiculous for us to believe that LeBron would have been able to defeat the owners in the NFL and get them on board with taking these steps earlier than what they did. They only did it because of how we were trending in the beginning of 2020 as black people. So when you see every company and all the companies that are, connected to you through sponsorships, all taking those steps to, back people of color, the NFL can't be the only one sitting outside the party because they feel like they should always be the life of the party. That's why they've kind of done the things that they've done, at least from my view. So love it. I think it's great. It's not a knock on LeBron. I just thought it was interesting that because he's such a great basketball player, that they want to find a way to connect him to everything. And they want to see if would the NFL be different if it was LeBron doing it. Like, bro, Cap tried to do it, and look at they squashed him. You don't think someone like Jerry Jones or Robert Kraft or the Rooneys or the Moonies, whatever their names are, you don't think those type of people have the type of power to put a stop to this years ago? I mean, come on. Shorty that's still in ownership of the Bears, Virginia McCloskey or whatever her name is. I mean, shout out to her. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady, but you don't think that she hasn't had the power to put a stop and maybe implement some of these social justice changes well before now? Nah, fam, because their bottom line and making money is more important than actually taking care of people. They want niggas to come out, play the game, take this little money that we give you, break your body, shut the hell up, make sure we can stay flying private, and then leave it at that. Like I said, if we wouldn't have been trending the way that we were at the beginning of the year, you wouldn't have seen these changes, because there was no reason to wait 4 years. There was no reason to blackball Colin Kaepernick. There's no reason to do Eric Reed the way that they've been doing him. And there's no reason to make all of these players feel like if they would have spoken out in 2016 that they would have ended up losing their lives behind it, their livelihood, excuse me. There's no reason their employers should have been making them feel that way. Their employers should have spoke up from the beginning, and they didn't. And that's the one pathetic thing about a lot of our employers, is that they're not actually defending people like they lead you to believe. They're only doing it for optics. Anyway, the show's over, man. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Meaningful Jackson Show, Lunchtime TV. I'll see you next Wednesday. I'm out.